Hello students, today we will discuss about Untouchable as a psychological novel. Okay. Mulkraj Anand, and it is not accidental, rather a conscious effort, and he knows what he is doing. He explores the mind of his hero or some other major character and has employed it with amazing dexterity. He once said that the novel should not press the inner monologue beyond a certain point so that humanness may remain a variable factor in a situation. Okay. First, Untouchable as a psychological novel. Before discussing the use of stream of consciousness technique in this novel, it is important to understand the difference between a soliloquy and interior monologue. Basically, the soliloquy is the method used in a drama by a certain character to express his emotions of joy, sorrow, or intrigue in his mind. These ideas are expressed by the character himself because there is no other way for their expression, but the stream of consciousness technique is used in the novels since it is a narrative. The writer himself describes what is passing through the mind of a person at a particular moment. This method has been very successfully introduced in the novel of Mulkraj Anand. And it is not accidental, rather a conscious effort, and he knows what he is doing. He explores the mind of his hero or some other major character and has employed it with amazing dexterity. He once said that the novel should not press the inner monologue beyond a certain point so the humanness may remain a variable factor in the situation. It is also noteworthy that in employing this method, Anand has not imitated anybody but used it only in the modified mode of stream of consciousness. Next, interior monologue. In Untouchable, there are so many situations which needed the use of interior monologue, and Anand is always ready with it. All such portrayals are quite realistic, pointed and sometimes poignant, truly human as any other man will feel and react in such situation. In this method, Anand seems to have adopted the Jacqueline method, but he has carefully avoided its misuse or too much use. They are short and natural. The main aim of the novelist is to highlight the miserable condition of the untouchables and how they are exploited from time to time. All this situation is faced by the Vakha, and he struggles within himself, although he cannot do anything except to tolerating it silently. He is everywhere humiliated, though he has not humiliating incidents occur in his life, and every time he wishes either to free himself or as he thinks wants to commit suicide. Next, expression of the restlessness. Okay. The expression of the restlessness in his mind and soul has been expressed only in one remark, best of all, when Anand remarks. But there was a smoldering rage in his soul. He is insulted openly on the road. His jalebi is spread in the dust, and the man slaps him. Though he had not done, his father tries to console him. The novelist explains the picture of the touched man stood in the forefront. Why was all this? He asked himself in a soundless speech. Baki is very much anxious to go to school like the other boys, but he could not. On the road, Vakha was at war with himself. His heart was burning with the desire for revenge. He thought about the Tangawala. He is young mountain that don't mind touching us. It is only the Hindus and the outcasts who are not sweepers. For them, I am a sweeper, untouchable. I am an untouchable. Next, last, powerful inner expression. There is a very powerful inner expression in temple episode. He sweeps the temple courtyard when he partakes in the Aarti. All the Hindus are polluted and they cry that the temple has been defiled. Everybody abuses him. Hearing the story of her sister's insult, he loses self-control. He began to search for the beast with the determination to kill him. In his half sleep in the morning, he remembers his dead mother who used to give him tea and breakfast in the morning. While going to the marriage of Ramcharan's sister, he is lost in the memory of his childhood when he played with her and she acted as the bride. He is overpowered by the desire to embrace her, but he knows that it is impossible. He had felt as if he could forcibly gather the girl into his embrace and ravish her. He is disgusted of the bread that he had picked from the ground and thinks that he should not have done so. Raka's collected food in the basket is very disgusting to him, since he remembers that he high caste people wash their hands on those breads. He remembers the great big piles of cooked food which he had received on the occasion of marriages. Thus, the method of interior monologue or the inner thoughts has been employed successfully. It serves double purpose, discloses the intention of the novelist and unfold the real character to the protagonist. He calls the untouchables as Harijans, which means the men of God, and that God has made all the men similar. He declared that he regarded this untouchability as the greatest blot on Hinduism, and he had no faith in it since his childhood. In the very beginning of his speech, Gandhi condemned untouchability as the greatest curse. He told that the work is work and whatever the untouchable do. is to keep the society clean, so it is also like other jobs and not in the least unholy and shameful. Moreover, the so called untouchables should also improve themselves and give up their evil habits. They must get rid of the habits like drinking and gambling. They should not collect and eat the food left by the upper caste people and should forget that their work is humiliating or low in any way. They should be allowed to move freely on the road, enter the schools and temples, and join the public assemblies. Their free self-respect among them. Another method is to introduce flush system. In this way, the fifth will be removed and no hand will be required for this cleaning. Consequently, nobody will remain untouchable and the problem will be eradicated by itself. They are untouchables because of their profession. If they change their profession, they will no more be untouchables. Gandhi also said that he wished to take his next birth in the family of these untouchables. He declared that the sweepers can be free from the stigma of untouchability and assume the dignity of status. That is their right as useful members of a casteless and classless society. Bhagavad deeply influenced, but he did not properly understand what all this meant. In his heart, he decided to tell all this to his father. For once, he decided to leave the job of cleaning the dirt, but he could not because there was no other way of livelihood before him.